the Right Honorable Speaker of this hallowed house, and other distinguished members of the House. My name is Professor Chukwu Amare Omaka, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Officer Ebonyi Hall of Fame. I'm here on the invitation of these hallowed chambers based on the designated commissioner that has been given to me as a right now to come before you for screening and for confirmation. We do respect the Right Honorable Speaker. That is why I am here, sir.
Thank you. Next.
Good afternoon, the Honorable Speaker, the honorable members of the House. My name is Nka Chinedu Magnus. I am here on the invitation of this Honorable House as a nominee for Commissionership by the Excellency the Governor of Ebonyi. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Any questions for them? Honorable Alizi.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Chukwu Arinze Lucas. I represent Ishelu South constituency. Mr. Chairman, I only want to move a motion about one nominee that is here, who is Sunday Yima. Mr. Chairman, if you could remember that Sunday Yima have appeared on several occasions to be screened in this house, and I so much believe that the position that he has handled in the past, that he always deliver. That is why I stand to move this motion, and as a mark of respect to our own Deputy Speaker, who is also his constituent. So I move a motion that he should be given that privilege to take a bow and leave.
Leader of the House, can you hear from me?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I nearly, Mr. Chairman, altercated the motion of the Deputy Chief Whip, but I had one name. I had Sunday Yima, popularly known as Agbalagba. I can tell you that I, in all totality, agree with the submissions of the Deputy Whip, with addition that Honorable Sunday Inyima has proved his mantle over time to be a very dependent ally, to be somebody who can deliver on the job. And Mr. Chairman, when I stood up to look at the line, I saw somebody that is somebody. The first son in Ebonyi State, the first senior advocate that Ebonyi State has ever produced. I also saw another doctor who is well known to all of us. So, Mr. Chairman, in addition to the motion of the Deputy Whip, I add all of them to the motion that because of their past antecedents and who they are, and they are people of good track records, that Mr. Chairman, this honorable house do allow them take a bow and leave. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I so second.
Thank you, our contributors to our distinguished commissioner designates before us. I wish to add that, we all live by grace. We can only say that out of the four, Etauka may not have been as popular as the other three. Because we know Dr. Ben Uruchodo, we know Chief Enyima, we know our first son in the state. But maybe some of us may say we might not been abreast with the other name. So I wish that he lives under their grace. Because these are characters we cannot question.
Thank you, Mr.
So on this, I want to put a motion. Those who want to take a bow and go, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those who say they shouldn't go, let's see. So on this note, let them take a bow and go.
Honorable Sunday Inyima, Professor Omari Omaka, Dr. Ben Odo, and Chinedum Nka have all taken a bow on the basis of self-recognition, a privilege rarely enjoyed by non-former members of the House. If you just join us, this is a combined service of SALT FM and SALT TV, live coverage of the screening and confirmation of commissioner nominees of His Excellency the Governor. It's happening live at the hallowed chambers of the Ebonyi State House of Assembly, Nkaliki Road, Abakaliki, Salt of the Nation. The screening and confirmation of these commissioner nominees of His Excellency is coming less than 24 hours after the list was presented to the members of the House.
Tell us your names and why you are here.
More nominees have been led into the chambers by the House Sergeant at Arms.
Sergeant at Arms.
I can see the immediate past Commissioner for Works. And here they come.
Mr. Speaker of the House, my name is Dr. Mamoti Kena. I'm here as a commissioner nominee for screening.
Dr. Ekuma.
Good afternoon, the Honorable Speaker, the Chair of the Assembly, and the Chairman of this committee. My names are Engineer Francis Ori. I'm here on the invitation of this honorable House as a commissioner nominee. I'm here for screening and approval. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Engineer Obonne Obasabara, Mr. Chairman, and other members of the House. I'm here to be screened as a commissioner nominee.
Mr. Chairman, my name is Comrade Tochuko Kore. I'm here to be screened as a commissioner nominee.
Dr. Moses, can you step forward? Anybody who has anything to ask Dr. Moses, please do.
Second batch of the commissioner nominees.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Dr. Moses, we have your resume here, and I can see a very wonderful CV. And you're a medical doctor. Can you please tell us your area of specialization?
Thank you.
Come again, sir.
My area of specialization is obstetrics and gynecology. I'm a consultant obstetrician and gynecology.
Wonderful. That's a very wonderful one. Assuming you are given the portfolio of the Commissioner for Health of this our dear state, what do you think you will do to improve the health sector of this state?
To improve the health sector of this state, I will start with health enlightenment campaign, which can be done through the radio, television, or even you can move to the community to sensitize masses on the be health conscious. That will also look at areas we need equipment and other things we need to do. We are going to do that.
Are you saying after your sensitization? Okay, let me leave that aside. Are you aware of the state of our health centers in our local governments?
Yes, I'm aware that.
What do you think you can do to improve the health centers in Ebonyi State?
To improve the health sector of the state, as I said, I will actually go around the health centers, note the area of deficiency, and like the little I know, there are areas, some general hospitals without a medical doctor, and thank God His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Ebonyi State, has approved the recruitment of 39 medical doctors, 39 lab scientists, 39 and other health professionals. So that to ensure that the recruitment is done, and also if there are hospitals without the equipment that are needed, then we also make sure we provide that, and also sensitize people, because the most important thing is for people to know the importance of their health, because sometimes you can even equip and do everything in the hospital, and people are dying because of out of ignorance, because they don't even know, they can't even, they are not even conscious of their health.
Mr. Chairman, I'm satisfied with his answers. On your permission. Thank you, sir.
Other contributions?
Any other question from anybody?
Yeah, no.
And that was Dr. Moses Kuma Nana.
That motion should be overtaken, because we did he still has to answer some questions from members. Please, no.
Chairman has overruled the motion. So more questions from members. Somebody.
Yes. Is that mic not working?
One. When you were answering the question put forward by the Honorable Leader of the House, you said annually you will be visiting all the health centers. I want you to throw more light. What do you mean by annually you will be visiting the health centers? By implication, in 4 years, you will visit the health centers 4 times in 4 years. I don't know what you mean by saying annually. Throw more light here.
That was not my answer. I did not say annually. I said I'm going to go around the health facility. Supervision is one of the important steps in improving any sector. It's not as it demands. Before, as I resume, I have to go around and note what is on ground and what those ones that are there and what are the ones that are not there. So it's not annually.
Okay.
Any other?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Oluchukwu Ukie Ezale, representing Africa Northeast Constituency. As you are aware, the challenges that are facing the health sector in Ebonyi State, I would want you to tell this House how you can, or in other words, your action plan of how to take care of the health challenges, which I believe you are already aware. And also, to tell us your accomplishment in the first 90 days of your office. Thank you.
One of the challenges in the health sector of the state is what we call the high maternal mortality and infant mortality. What I mean by that is that, like in the past 3 months, I've heard of 6 women that died while going through labor. So, and that type of death involve both the mother, sometimes the mother and the child. So I will actually try to improve on that by the way of sensitization, checking ensuring that the women deliver in safe facility. Ensure that if a facility is not standard for delivery or to take care of our patients, such a facility should be shut down, and anybody that is ready to offer such services must upgrade his or her facility to a standard, and also assess the competence of the health workers, especially those ones in the private sector. We have to make sure that those facilities are being manned by qualified medical personnel. Then also in terms of quackery, we are going to ensure that we try our best to eliminate any form of quackery in the state, because that has done much harm than good to our people. So these are some of my plans to the health sector. So I will also have meeting with the stakeholders in the health sector. It's not really a one-man affair, and there are still other ministries that can work together to ensure that there is improvement in the health sector.
almost every other ministry, including power, works, because if there's good roads, when there is challenge in a health center, such a patient can be moved to a higher center easily. So the works ministry is still important in the health sector. Okay. Also the power. There are areas in some hospitals that lack power. So I will also liaise with the appropriate authority to ensure that there is power and electricity in those areas. Also security. There are some hospitals that the staff don't do night duties because they are afraid of hoodlums coming to attack them while on duty. So all these are also important in ensuring that the health sector is improved and our patients well taken care of. Thank you, sir.
Dr. Moses, can we hear from Abiri?
Mr. Speaker, my name is Abiri Godwin Abiri, representing the good people of EBBC West constituency. Mr. Speaker, members of the House, we know that health is wealth and is a very essential and important area that we have to do very good justice to it. But my joy is that the nominee is capable, because I know his capacity. He was one of the best. He is one of the best physicians in Ebonyi State, and he was also one of the personal physicians to the immediate past Speaker of this House. So he's coming in is an invitation to good health, and I know that he will do very well on that area. He will return health to what it should be if given that portfolio of Commissioner for Health. So on this note, Mr. Speaker, I solicit that he take a bow and leave the stage. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman, there's an information.
Information?
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just went carefully through the CV, and I found out that Dr. Moses Ikedna has no tax clearance. So, does it mean you don't pay tax to the state? Where is your tax clearance?
I've paid for it. They are giving me, they said I should come back from the Board of Internal Revenue. I should come back for the...
Do you have any evidence to show there's been a payment?
Sir, I cannot be lying to this Honorable House. I've made payment for the tax.
No, I didn't say you're lying. I said, do you have evidence of payment?
Mr. Leader, can I, from the information available...
Thank you.
He has been a staff of the House of Assembly. So at least we are sure that within the House of Assembly we have those mechanisms to have deducted his tax. So let him enjoy that privilege that if they are not issued, then it should have been the problem of our own
Mr.
tax.
Chairman, thank you. Anything you say happens, Mr. Chairman. You are presiding. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. He has saved you. Next time, when you make payments, get
anything on the
evidence.
contrary. Anything on the
contrary is...
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Do you have anything on the contrary? Anything on the contrary?
Yes, Speaker. Question.
Okay. We are agreeing with the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, Chair. My name is Oba Celestin Efani, representing the good people of Onitsha East State constituency. Please, sir, my questions are this. You know, just like my able colleague said, that health is wealth. We are so much concerned, not out of hatred or trying to make the process rigorous. But it is something that concerns all of us when we talk about health. Listening to you, you talk much about sensitizing the public with regards to health. But where you fail to mention something that I have so much interest in is that should, in case you scale through the screening and eventually become the Commissioner of Health, what sensitization are you going to give to medical practitioners in the state? Because we know when you attend any of these government hospitals, sometimes you have horrible experience, not even due to the shortage of manpower or provision of equipment and facilities, but attitude. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Medical practice, medicine is an evolving profession. So you need a constant update on the current management options for certain medical conditions. So I'm sure that from time to time, I'm going to organize an update course, a kind of update on the new things in medical practice, so that they will know of the current ways of managing some conditions. Then for the attitude, just I've said that I cannot do without a supervision. I have to supervise our health sector from time to time, and that is also how I will checkmate poor attitude to work. So that is also.
Thank you, Dr. Moses, for having answered diligently most of the questions posed to you. I also, in a sort of question, would want to use, like the leader said, because we are not actually being sure that you are going to the State Ministry of Health. That was, we are only trying to prognose whether that will be your ministry or not, since you are a qualified medical practitioner. I want to, as an information passed to you, if at the end you are posted to that ministry, you are aware that, if you are aware that most health resource materials, public health resource materials, are found into private clinics few weeks after delivery. And what do you think you can do about that?
The public health materials are being found in. Sorry, sir, the question is not clear.
I didn't hear you.
I said, sorry, sir, that the question is not clear.
Question, which he just said, that there is this practice that where the government buys or acquires health materials or health equipment, that within a short time it starts disappearing from the public health facilities it should have meant to be in, and somehow, maybe through rocket science or whatever science, find their way into private hospitals. That, are you aware of it? One, if you are aware of it, what do you plan to do to checkmate such practice?
That is an ugly condition where a private practitioner decides to divert government property into public property or government property to his or her private. So that can also start by ensuring that any equipment in government facility those equipment are properly labeled, then the inventory of such should be kept both in the ministry and in that particular health facility. And where such is found in a private place, that such a patient, such a practitioner should be handed over to the law enforcement agency, because actually is not meant to be there. So that means the person might have stolen it from the government facility. But we start by keeping the proper inventory, both in the health facility, in that very facility, and also in the State Ministry of Health. And during the visit, this can be, we know what this facility. Sometimes we monitor and ensure that those things are still there. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Moses. For him.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Doc, thank you very much. You have really answered a lot of questions, but just observation from your CV. The last part of your CV said medical consultant, Ebonyi State House of Assembly Clinic. So I was just wondering that since you have been a consultant in this House of Assembly, you have never deemed it necessary to check at least maybe the BP of any of the members of the House, or even our blood group, to know if we are medically sound. So I hope this time around that if they appoint you, if they will give you approval, maybe as a commissioner for health or any other one, that you will not have maybe a specific person that you will be taking care of other than the health of Ebonyians. So I want you to throw more light on that.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Actually, we've actually been doing that, but you know, when it comes to health issues, it's not as if it's what you can force somebody to. Maybe you cannot just see somebody and say, okay, I must check your BP today. It is not really acceptable in the medical practice. But when you create awareness campaign that, oh, we have this facility, people do come to the clinic to check their BP, check their sugar, and we've been doing that. We have evidence, the records of the people we've been attending to. They are there, including some honorable members. What we've not done is coming to the chamber and say, okay, this one we must check today, because we believe as we want all of us to live healthy, but we can still not force some form of medical checkup on anybody. What you need to do is to know that, to tell the person that, oh, this can be done here. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Chairman, my name is Mr. Friday Ogwewu. I represent the good people of Ezza South constituency. Mr. Chairman, my question to Dr. Ekma is very simple. Ekma has been in this state for a very long time. I presume he knows this state very, very well. On that note, I would like Mr. Ekma to tell us those things he thinks that the immediate Commissioner for Health did not do, why our health sector is still suffering today. That's number one. Number two, we are aware of the mass exodus of doctors. Mass exodus of doctors, not just for Ebonyi State, but in Nigeria at large. It means that if our doctors continue to move from Ebonyi to other countries outside Nigeria, that the time will come when we will not have quality medical practitioners in our health facilities. What are the measures you are going to put on ground to make sure that this exodus is put to a stop? Because as it stands, our governor, out of his magnanimity, has approved the employment of 39 medical doctors in our general hospitals. I don't know where we intend to find them if this continues. So tell us how the blueprint you have put in place, if you are eventually deployed to the Ministry of Health as commissioner, the measures you will put on ground to stop this exodus from Ebonyi State. And three, assuming at the end of this exercise and you are not deployed to the Ministry of Health, which other ministry do you think you can effectively function? Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Before Dr. Moses takes that question, I wouldn't want him to go to what the immediate past Commissioner for Health didn't do. He is not here to probe the former immediate Commissioner for Health before he starts a fight here. So, while expressing what other issues you raised, as concise as possible, so we still have 3 persons standing, and if it can be taking all this long, you know, people who are nominated as commissioners, I know nobody is below 30 years, and we wouldn't want to say something happened to somebody because we kept the person too long standing. So, Dr. Moses, of course, we have a doctor around us. But I would want you to, if you have anything to answer as precise as possible, so you can.
Thank you, Honorable. Actually, I'm aware of the mass exodus of doctors. Mostly, the primary reason is due to poor salary, especially in the state health sector. So that in that case, I'm going to make a proposal to the appropriate quarters, advising the need to pay the workers, and also some are leaving not because, especially the ones in federal institutions, not solely because of the poor salary, but also because some people qualify maybe as a specialist, you don't have some needed equipment to work with. You now look at it that, oh, you are wasting what you've, the skill you've acquired for years in this country. So you will now look for places where you can utilize those skills. So the 2 major things are really because of poor salary and also lack of equipment. And if I'm deployed to that ministry, I will also have a stakeholders meeting and make appropriate recommendations to the appropriate quarters. Thank
you. Anything on the contrary? Is this still contrary?
A different question, Chair. Speaker, please.
A different
question, but a simple one.
Please make it as simple as you have said.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and Chair. My name is Oba Celestine Efani from Onitsha East State Constituency. Please, Doctor, I want to ask a question, not just as a medical professional, but
in relation to your branch of medicine. Obstetrics and gynecologists, right?
Yes.
Please, can you educate us the effect of mosquito in relation to childbirth? Because I've been to several clinics here in Ebonyi State, and the maternity wards are nothing to write home about because they are highly infested with mosquito. Thank you.
So as you said, it has a adverse effect on pregnancy. How does that occur? We get malaria through mosquito bite, and we know the pregnant women are more susceptible to attack as a result of their reduced immunity. So, and that is why we encourage the health facilities and even the pregnant women to register in such facility where they will be given insecticide treated bed net, and we encourage them to sleep on under the bed net. That will also help in preventing malaria, not only for the pregnant women and for other other family members. And also there are some prophylactic drugs we give to them, like in form of fansida, we give to them every month. That can also be made free to encourage them to take the medicine, because that also helps in preventing malaria attack in pregnant women. Because malaria not only affect the growth of the baby, also affect the blood level of the pregnant women. These people are at risk of losing blood during delivery. So their blood should not be less than it's supposed to be, because during delivery they are going to lose some. So what I'm just trying to say is that malaria has a lot of mosquito has a lot of adverse effects on pregnant women through malaria.
Thank you, Dr. Moses. You may wish to step aside for another nominee to come up. If your head can't carry you, they may provide seat for you. Former Commissioner for Works can come up.
Thank you, sir.
Any questions for
My name is Mr. Friday Ogwewu. I represent the good people of Ezza South constituency. Mr. Chairman, the man standing before us, Engineer Obunaya Bara, I have known him for a very long time, and I don't think there is anybody that does not know him very, very well here. He has served as HOD Civil in the Ministry of Works. He has also served as the Honorable Commissioner for Works between 2019 to 2023. And I personally think that he deserves a special treatment by asking him to take a bow, considering the fact that he has contributed seriously to the infrastructural development of Ebonyi State. You cannot tell the history of the infrastructural development of Ebonyi State without mentioning Engineer Obunaya Abara. It is on that ground, Mr. Chairman, that I specially request that we ask Engineer Obasi to take a bow and go. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Minister Ward.
Mr. Chairman, I am Honorable Barrister Nwodo, representing the good people of Ebonyi Northwest State Constituency. Sir, may I respectfully defer a bit from the motion moved by the Honorable Member, sir. May I respectfully oppose the motion. I have a very important question for the former Commissioner for Works.
Okay, so you don't have a question for him?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. If there are no other questions for him, then he can step aside too. I will bring him.
So sorry, Mr. Chairman. I'm saying I am respectfully opposing the motion moved by the Honorable Member.
Then ask your questions. We were sitting down now, so I thought you could.
Dr. Abarasa, please, Engineer Abarasa, you have served this state as a commissioner. And you are now standing before us to be clear as a commissioner designate. And in your documents, it's very wonderful and appreciable. I want to ask, assuming that this annual chamber clears you and you are returned as a commissioner for works, there have been these cases of projects of government, especially in constructive areas of construction, not lasting after constructions. For instance, roads, buildings. Sir, tell us how you intend to curb this anomaly, sir, with respect, sir.
Thank you very much. It's a House of Assembly. Well, I know even before now we have been talking about road. Has had impact on the construction of rigid pavement. Mr. Chairman, House members, you are witnesses that the roads we constructed 7-8 years ago are still standing. So I want to believe that if the present administration continues in that light, which I think they will, road failure within our own state will be a thing of the past. Thank you, sir.
In the absence of any other question, engineer, you can step aside. Another nominee to come. Ask anybody that his or her head can't carry standing, you can offer him a seat. The next person.
Good afternoon, the chairman of the House Committee. My name is Engineer Francis Suri.
Questions for Engineer Francis Uri? If there are no questions from the members, then he can step aside.
My name is Honorable Onukwa, representing the good people of Osa West constituency. I stand to appeal to the Honorable House to make the grace of Engineer Abara see constitution on his behalf to take a bow and go, because he's a professional. He has done a lot of construction in this state that enhance the development of the state. As a professional that His Excellency has directed, that he needs professionals. And when we see professionals, we will not torment them, because if they tell us what is involved in a mixture of one bag of cement.
Are you talking about engineering or
Mr. Ori, I'm asking let the grace of that is sitting on Engineer Abara goes to him, because he's equally a professional chairman.
For Engineer Abara's grace to cover engineering?
Yeah, because he's his boy. He's a junior engineer. He has all the text to move the state forward.
You can see that. I think
there
are no questions going
I'm
to
testifying on his behalf that he's a very strong professional. He has consulted so many bridges in our side, even all the gates out in Ochudo State, consulted by him.
Mr. Chairman, sir, I think what the gentleman from Ohozora is saying is that
Yes.
you cannot mention engineer Abara without mentioning engineer Ori.
Very good.
Given that they are like semi-twins, they have worked together. Whatever engineer Abara had delivered, engineer Ori was somewhere under.
Yes, pushing
something. So I also agree
yes.
that the grace also be extended to him. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Is it on the contrary? Have you anything contrary to what this one says?
No.
Chairman, I don't know. I don't understand what they mean by saying that by the virtue of the fact that he worked with Engineer Basi. That
have you any questions for him?
The question is that I don't understand. He said you are an engineer, sir.
Yes.
You studied building technology.
Yes, building
in Ebonyi State University.
I do.
And they awarded you bachelor.
Sorry?
And they awarded you what?
They awarded me PhD Building Tech Edu. And I enrolled to the prestigious University of Enugu State University of Science and Technology.
What makes it prestigious?
Have you doubts on any of his certificates?
Yes, I want to know where the engineer came from. That prefix engineer Ori, when he studied building technology in Ebonyi State University.
Mr. Chairman, sir. Clarification, sir.
Okay, let me say that the nomenclature engineer maybe.
Sorry, Mr. Chairman, sir. Just a quick word. I understand where he's coming from,
that's exactly,
but I want to put something straight to him. Is he a member of Nigerian Society of Engineers?
That's really the question.
You said?
Sir.
Are
you a member of Nigerian Society of Engineers?
No.
Yes. Listen, that's what I was trying to address. Can you listen? So, what I was trying to say, engineering,
sir,
we want the house wants you to know that just like our immediate past speaker, who is now the governor of the state.
Yes, sir.
He is a builder and a fellow of the Nigerian Institute of Builders, and has also raised some critical questions in the group known as the Nigerian Fellow of Builders. So that we address him as Builder Francis Wivu, not Engineer Francis.
With all due respect, my chairman.
If you are not a member of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, don't raise more questions, because we may refer you to the Nigerian Society, and Engineer Abara will even deny you. Engineer Abara will deny you if we refer you to that place. So what we are saying is that correctly address yourself as builder
or Mr.
or Mr. Engineer.
Thank you, sir.
In the absence of further questions, can you step aside?
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Chairman, my name is Comrade Otochukwu Okore.
Okay. Any questions for Ozo Otochukwu Okore? Yes, madam.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Honorable Mrs. Awu Esther Chidebere, representing the good people of Ohuhu North State constituency. Ozo Otochukwu Okore was my former colleague. On that time, I know he performed very well. And he worked very well, he performed very well, he had the capacity. So I am pleading with Mr. Chairman that you should allow him to take a bow and go. Thank you, Mr.
Any further questions for Otochukwu?
Thank you,
I don't want anybody to
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Honorable Igu Chikezie, representing the good people of Ohoza East, where Honorable Otochukwu Okore comes from. I want to plead passionately on his behalf because I know him too well. He has served in government for more than a decade and he has been delivering. And I believe, based on his track record, whatever assignment that is given to him, that he's going to do even better because he has more experience now. And so I want to align myself with the last speaker to plead that you should take a bow or step aside while we continue instead of going ahead to do further investigations. I don't know, because this is a person that I'm about for and I know him too very well. Very, very young and vibrant. And any assignment you give to him, he always give you the best results.
Thank you. You have a contrary view, Do you have a contrary view?
No, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker,